Oh, true.
Hello, welcome, and we're back in our usual haunt.
We are. Let's hope we get a discussion group here.
Exactly. I have to get rid of these every time.
I know.
That's the only thing that's kind of, doing something wrong. But anyway, we're going to find out. It looks like things are starting to progress.
Come up.
Yes, so and our stream is streaming away.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Anyway, so today we are here waiting to enthrall you with more wonderful news from the Victoria Sampler. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Thanks for chiming in. Sometimes we just sort of say stuff and we don't even know what we're saying because we're just waiting for people to come on board.
Exactly. So, I don't know if you caught it, but I had do I leave my sweater on or off? On or off? On or off? So I've decided to take it off.
That was part of the beginning of this.
That was part of the beginning, yes.
Hi, Sue. And Lorraine is here. Oh, and now it's daylight savings. You can manage, sort of, right?
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
Is it 11:30 for you, Lorraine?
I don't know how people stay up till 11:30. I was gone out like a light at 9 last night.
Well, I fall asleep in the chair at 9, but I am up till 11:30. So.
Okay, that's right.
So I sleep in my chair between 9 and 11.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
and that's how you get your full sleep.
With a kinked neck.
Yeah, that's true. I used to do that too, and it really did get my head.
Oh, yeah. Last night was a doozy. It's like, my goodness, so much for my chiro treatment this week.
Dory Davis, hello from Prague. Mm-hmm. That's great. And Patricia Readout is here. And Janet Wiltendorf. I'm just going to say Janet. I can't read very well. That's the problem. I've got my computer glasses on, which are good for to this, but now I can't see far away.
That's right. The monitor, or it's more than just a monitor, is probably 5 feet away?
Yeah, we have a huge TV that we set up as a monitor, so we can see better, you know, what's happening.
Yes, it helps me because I can see it. Whereas if it was closed, I would need my glasses on.
No, and also then we can just sort of look over quickly rather than peering at our TV monitor. I mean, at our regular
small monitor.
Exactly. Janet's here. Cynthia's here. Oh, it looks like lots and lots of sunshine here. Good. Suzanne, hello. Loretta, hello. Gail, good morning to you too. It's 12:30. Aw, you had a nap. That sounds so familiar. That is adorable. Good morning, Donna. It's good to see you here too. Jeanette, Elizabeth, hello. Thank you, Jeanette, I think, was there, and Elizabeth was there. Last time I did this little test for 30 seconds. It seems to work, so good. Sue said she told her husband it was time for a broadcast, and he started singing the Banana Boat song. I want to hear it so bad. Can you record that for us? We'll put it on. Seriously, Sue. If you get him to record it on your phone or whatever, send me the MP4. I'll put it on in a replay on our YouTube channel. Okay, I promise.
That would be funny.
Thank you. Say hi to Michael for me. Kathleen says, hello, everyone. I'm glad I can join you. Last week, my daughter came over for I know.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, no, you remember you saying that you were very busy. I hope you had a nice lunch. Good morning, Wanda. Good to see you. Marlene Coco, hello in Brazil.
1:30.
Okay, good. Well, that's not in the middle of the night.
No. It's there 1:30 in the afternoon on Friday.
And Tommy's, thank goodness, just home.
Oh, Tammy, you do so much in a day. My goodness, girl.
I know. She does, doesn't she?
She does.
Jean, hello. It's nice to see you again from Atlanta. Deborah Brandt is here. Pat Henke is there. Good morning. Carol Reed, the afternoon, of course. Oh, it's spring break. Oh, good. Yes, because you teach, right? I think that's why you are here now.
That's right.
Mary Widowitz is here. Juliet McDonald, good afternoon. Looks like a lovely day here, too. Actually, I went out for a big walk this morning.
Oh, did you?
And I got sprinkled on.
Yeah, so it was nice.
It was beautiful. 5 degrees or something.
Not bad for the last day of winter.
Is this the last day of winter?
It's the last day of winter.
Oh,
Tomorrow
how
is spring.
exciting. Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot our St. Patty's Day outfits.
Oh, we did.
We really aren't wearing anything
No.
to do with St. Patrick's
No,
Day.
we aren't.
And all the green stuff is over there.
I can grab it. We can put it on. No?
I just can't stand.
Yeah.
You know what would be kind of fun though is to see our little green friend there,
Okay.
the
I'll go grab
frog,
it.
because we have lots of frogs, and that one I just love that frog that's there.
Okay, sorry, I have to grab these too.
She wants me to wear this green thing. Okay.
Gotta grab all of it.
Oh dear. Oh, this is gonna be something.
Okay, you have your choice.
I'm not wearing that. Okay, that maybe.
This one?
Yeah, I suppose. But it's got stuff all over it. It's still got the
Oh, it's still got the
label.
tag?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how often we wore it.
I brought all those. Okay, you guys ready?
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 It's St.
Ta-da!
Patty's Day.
Oh, you can't see the ears.
That's okay. We'll just be fine this way. There we go.
There.
Okay, so now we're in
Yes.
St. Patty's Day, and we
Yeah.
have this
and
many frogs.
Easter too.
That'll be good for Easter, actually.
Yes.
That'll be really good, even though it's not quite Easter yet.
Yeah, I know.
There are frogs. Frogs are something that you do when you undo mistakes in stitching, if those of you who don't know that yet. But these are our pet frogs, and I've used them in the classroom a lot.
A lot.
And so, do you want one on your shoulder
Sure.
here?
Sure.
Yes,
Is he
it's
gonna?
No,
stay
you have
there?
to hold him.
Gonna
He
have
wants to-
hold?
yes, he
Okay,
wants to
there.
be held.
Please. No, you're right.
This one actually
Okay.
is really, really poisonous looking, so I'm not going to use this one. But this is another possibility here.
Bunnies
We'll
came
just
off.
wear
Just
our
hang on a
frogs.
second.
There we go. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's it for St. Patty's Day, because we're not really Irish, but we have fun just the same.
We do. Hang on a second. I'm trying to wrap it around my neck.
Joining
Okay.
a tad late, she says. Oh, Brenda's here. Kathy Bird is here. Good. Bee
Okay.
is here. Tammy, of course.
Doesn't
and
look like much, but
it looks great.
I got it wrapped around my neck. I think
Okay.
I'm choking myself.
I want my frog to stay on my shoulder. Just
Yeah.
stay here. Cheryl says she's joining a tad late. Just finished shoveling a good dumping of snow. Oh, okay. I'm sorry for you. Joy says hello. Very chic. Thank you.
Yeah. Nope.
You're looking very unusual. Unusual is the case.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Well, this is our way of saying Happy St. Patrick's Day 2 days ago.
Yes.
Because we've actually had it where it was St. Patrick's Day on the day, and
Yes.
that made a lot more sense.
That's right. It did indeed.
And we have green frogs, and we have green head dresses. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's all you get.
The frog isn't cooperating with
No,
me.
you have
so.
to. Oh, okay. I get it. You've
Yeah.
got this thing. See, this is like a little Velcro thing.
I know.
So can't you put that around your neck?
I tried, but I felt like it was suffocating.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
was not working.
So
Let's see.
sorry that we're just being very silly.
We are.
Okay,
Can
so
I do this? Nope, I can't. I'm trying, but it's
actually,
not.
that looked like a really good way to do it, but a little rude.
I know. It's like poor girl. Sorry, can't do it.
Okay, we're fine. We can put him down
Yeah, that's
anytime
right.
you want.
Okay.
So what did you do this week during the time that we were all having St. Patrick's Day?
What did I do this week? Let's see. I got a new creative design. Well, it's not a new creative design. It's an old stitch along that I've turned into a creative design.
Yes, it's a previous stitch along.
That's right.
Old stitch along sounds really old.
Well, that's right. It's a well. Yeah,
It was
it's
about
true.
a year ago, wasn't it?
It's yes. So it's not that old. So
It's coming out next
Yeah.
week,
yes.
you guys. So you can go and look at Creative Designs and you'll see it there. And if you have missed it, then there it will be.
Yes.
Because that's how we do it when we have done with our stitch alongs.
Yes.
We wait for a short time until this new season is there, and then we release it as a pattern, just the same as it would have been on Stitch Along Friday, except they're all put together into one pattern. And there's better diagrams, because she really does a better job than I do at diagrams. And so Lisa's in charge of those.
Yes.
I do all of the actual stitch alongs, and the diagrams are kind of silly and not that great. But when Lisa puts it all together, it's accurate and actually looks like one of our patterns. And that's the one that's for sale.
Yes. So I did that. I also created, what was it? Or not created. I put together 3 more stitch videos.
Yes.
Was it 3 or 2?
Yeah, I think you did work on stitch videos this week.
I did.
And of course, as you all know, there's a new one coming out today.
Yes.
At 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And Lisa has got that one all ready to go here. I'm going to talk about me later.
Okay.
Because I don't want to talk about me right now.
You don't want to talk
No,
about...
no.
I was going to mention something about the frogs, because last night on the news they were talking about the migration of their West Coast little toads. And they're really, really teeny. They're only this big.
Mhm.
But they migrate this time of year, but they go over this road and they end up getting run over.
Oh, no.
Because it's a busy road. So they're building a culvert for the frogs to go under the road.
Where are they doing that? In Washington State?
Lake Cowichan, I think I heard.
Oh, here in Canada.
Here on the island. And so they're spending what was that, $100,000 or $200,000 to build this culvert so these little toads can go under.
Under the highway.
Under the highway.
Aw.
Yeah.
I guess people are just sick and tired of killing frogs. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't
guess
blame them.
Yeah.
Honestly, that must be awful, squishing through frogs. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's really nice that we're like that.
Yes.
That they're like that.
Yes.
We're not like that.
No, but our tax dollars are going to pay for it.
That's
so, yeah.
true, but
Yeah.
I think that's very nice.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they'd be on the extinction list. So,
Exactly. And we've also got our marmot, but that's another story.
That's
entirely.
another story.
Like a few people have wanted to know why we're wearing frogs or why there is a frog. The frogs are great, though. Sheila says hello, and Sandy Werbitsky is here. It's nice to see you. Karen Gross.
Hi.
I love the spring green people. Love it. Well, and actually, it's because it's been St. Patrick's Day a couple of days ago, and we unfortunately didn't anticipate it.
No.
We should have done that last week.
Yes, so this was a last-minute throw together.
Totally.
Yeah.
If you look at the replay, you'll see us throwing it together.
But I really like your headband. It actually suits you. You kind of look like Cindy Lou. Cindy Lou Who with green hair.
I'm not quite as short as she is. Thank you. I love the frog. Frog, says Val Newman. Yep, frog. Frog is the only green other thing that we had. And of course, it relates to stitching because that's what I used to use, my frog, to go around in my teaching and tell people frogging is something you do when you have made an error that you don't like and you're taking it out, right? So you rip it and you rip it. And guess what? That's what frogs do. Rip it, like that.
Yeah.
Those of you who have not heard the ribbit joke comes from the late 80s, when the internet first started, early 90s probably, more like that.
Yes.
And Val Newman says, green people? We are.
Yeah.
Pat Henke says, my kids used to laugh with any roadkill on the road.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of awful. But in any case, that's not what we like. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so also we had a green...
We do.
Greenish pair of scissors. And I wanted to show you this one.
The cat scissors.
Way too...
They're cute.
They're cute, but they're way too shiny in their little case.
Yes.
So we do have actual green cat scissors, and mainly really green...
measuring tape.
Thank you, measuring tape. And what's really cool is we have not just that color anymore. That's the one we started out with.
Yes.
And we sold out so quickly. The other ones we have are pink.
Yeah, you can't really see the...
Not as well.
Yeah.
Pink and blue as well. And they're now starting to sell out.
Yes.
So we just wanted to remind you of those scissors. And I'll remind them of the other things later.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we have Stitch of the Week.
The Stitch of the Week this week is what we called a whipped spiderweb rose. And it's from Beyond Cross Stitch, Level 3, Number 1. And I'll show you the package there.
It's kind of a really complicated thing. We have three different kinds of roses, and we'll tell you about them later.
Yes.
But the whipped stitch is the one we're focused on.
That's right. And I couldn't find too much information about it. So it is, let's pull up there. Right there. Am I close? Nope, I'm not even close. I can't see where I am. So,
is it the Noel one?
Yes.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. There is a perfect example of a whipped rose. Whipped spiderweb rose. And the difference between this and the other two types of roses that start the same way with spokes is really interesting, and wait till you see us try to describe it in the air.
That's right.
Very difficult.
Exactly. So you've kind of used it not too often.
No.
On a few patterns.
I have
but
to use these more often.
You do. One of your earlier ones, and I love this one, is frankincense. And so I'm going to hold it up. And it is the flowers on the vine there.
So it's one of the flowers. I think it's this one. I think I have to hold it up a little closer.
You have to hold it up a little closer? I'm losing my ears.
No, don't lose your ears.
The headband's coming off my fat head.
There is a one rose right in the middle there. There we go. And actually, frankincense is very interesting because it's got not just that rose, obviously. It's got satin stitches at the top with
the beadwork on it is fabulous.
Bugle beads and some diamond eyes, and all this is, it looks a little bit like needlepoint or current canvas work because it's so densely done that way. And then in the middle, it's surrounded with gold. And there is a plant, a myrrh plant, obviously, there.
Oh, with that's myrrh, not frankincense?
Nope, that's myrrh.
Oh.
And then you
I grabbed the wrong one.
Okay, but it's the same rose.
I think it's also in frankincense, so.
Well, go for it.
I'm going to grab.
If you're excited about showing these.
Yeah. I didn't realize that I had more than 3. Okay. There is the companion piece to myrrh.
There we go. And as you can see, it also has a top, also has some bugle beads. And you can also see in frankincense, there is a bunch of them. They're all whipped spider webs, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
So all 4 of them are whipped spider webs, and they're done with one type of thread in different colors.
Yeah, I think it was done with wildflowers, Karen wildflowers.
Exactly. And I think this was my first one.
Yes.
With the waffle stitch at the bottom. This was so fun to make. I could make more, but it takes quite a bit to put this on a frame correctly so that the linen can hold the beadwork and the metal work, because it's pretty heavy. And I think this one would be really fun. All of these would be really fun to do on 18 count canvas.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a canvas worker, this would be just so awesome.
It certainly would.
The only problem is you'd have to take some kind of colored canvas because the raw canvas isn't covered. But you could do a background stitch, little tent stitch on it, or basket weave.
Tent stitch or something like that.
Exactly. Yes. Gail Stetler says that we make her smile.
Oh, thank you.
We make us smile too. Kathleen says she's doing all 3 of the gifts. I have the patterns and ordered the threads and embellishments. Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
Even doing one of them is such an adventure. So when you're working, make sure you keep tightening your rods if you've got it on a frame. Or if you've stretched it across stretcher bars and you're using these rust-proof tacks, you'll have to keep repositioning the tacks, because it does, on linen anyway, it does kind of stretch a little bit.
Yeah, so it gets heavy with the beads.
Correct. So if you want to work this also on 18 count canvas, that would be very interesting as well. Yep. Anyway, Mary Widrowitz and Val Newman love Caron wildflowers. I say Caron because that's what Kathleen calls it.
That's how Kathleen,
Kathleen, who works here, is French Canadian, so she always pronounces Karen as Caron. Which is very cute. And?
Okay, the other one design that has the whipped spider web rose is the gingerbread trio tweed.
I have all sorts of roses and flowers at the bottom.
Exactly. So it's the roses at the bottom right here.
Yeah, exactly.
But as you can see, this is a cute little design. I shouldn't say little design because it has 4 sides to it. That's one side. And then it has this side, which has the little stitchers. And then we have this side, which has Santa and a little village.
Actually, you could maybe even make this one into a 3-sided tree, because
absolutely,
it can actually be finished that way, I believe.
Yeah. And then you have another little town with the snowman.
Yes.
Snowman looks like it's going to eat the buildings. But
he's in the front.
It's a giant snowman. It's like the Marshmallow Man.
Exactly. He is very big. No, but he's only big because he's in front.
That's true.
Okay, and the
That's
rest are
true.
in behind.
Yes, very true. Yeah. It's like,
Joy says she loves that one.
yeah.
And Donna Van Buxel says she loves stitching the spider roses. Well, what we talked about, and Dory's done the whole tree, it does take quite a while to do the
They
tree, but boy, is it ever a showstopper. When you have that at Christmas time on your mantle,
Absolutely.
it looks really cool. I was going to say, tell me about the 3 different kinds of roses.
Okay, well, I have the perfect example of all 3 on this design, which is called Where Stitchers Gather. And it's actually a needle pocket. We've shown this one before. But
here, how about I do this?
You do this. I have to figure out which is which. On this side, nope, on this side, sorry, is the whipped spiderweb rose.
Okay, so I'm going to show that
there.
one. Okay, and then on the
on
other
this side is the ribbed spiderweb rose.
Right
there.
Yeah.
And then down below is the woven spiderweb rose.
The other side?
Right. Nope. I think it's this one right here.
This was really hard.
Yeah. It's backwards when I'm looking at it going, where am I going?
It's like in the mirror anyway. So, okay, so tell me exactly how does the woven spiderweb rose work?
The woven, of course, you usually have 5 spokes, and you basically weave it over and under the spokes all the way around until it's full.
Okay. So how do you do the whipped spiderweb rose?
The whipped spiderweb rose usually has even number of spokes.
Yep.
And so you would go, bring the thread up, go over 2 spokes, back under 1. Over 2 spokes, back under 1.
And the last one.
The ribbed spiderweb rose, you go under 2 spokes, over 1.
Back over 1.
Under 2, back over 1.
Can you get that? I mean, it really took us a while to figure this out earlier. We kind of, had to do a, what do you call that? Rehearsal.
Rehearsal, yes.
Neither one of us were really good at thinking, how do you explain?
What's the difference between the 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And each one has a different look about it.
Absolutely.
And every once in a while, you mix it up. Generally, though, I've been doing it with ribbon, which is just a woven one.
Yes. For the woven spiderweb rose, it's usually done with the ribbon.
On odd number of spokes.
Yeah.
Anyway, the spokes are the same for all of the roses, but there's only one that needs an odd, because then you go over and under, over and under, over and under, and then when you meet the previous one, it's offset.
That's right.
Like a woven.
Absolutely.
There! We did it!
We did it. And it's probably clear as mud.
I don't know if any of you like all of these roses. Does anyone have any preference for the roses? Is it the whipped, the ribbed, or the woven? Oh, I haven't tried the second one, she says. Let's see.
The ribbed?
The ribbed one is the one that goes underneath 2 and back over 1.
Yeah.
I love that one because you can see the ribs of the spokes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool one. And Lisa knows a lot about this because she's the one who does all the diagramming and directions in our leaflets. So doing that, she's very conscious of exactly how things have to be shown, right?
Yes.
So it's really good. Brenda Lichlier is going crazy. This is her going crazy.
Oh.
When you hover over that one, I love that. When you hover over it, it goes like this. She's dizzy. Aw, she's never tried ribbed yet, says Val Newman.
Give it a try. It's actually, like the other ones, it's just as much fun.
It is. Mm-hmm. Dory says she's loved doing all of them. They're fun and easy to do.
Yeah.
They kind of are. Once you get going, you go, oh, that's all. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because the directions can sometimes be confusing.
Absolutely.
But the whipped one is now going to be on our YouTube channel in 7 minutes.
Yes.
Because I've got it scheduled for 10 o'clock. Then you can go and look one. Oh, no, she says the whipped one. Yes, yes, okay, gotcha. Well, they're really fun to do. All of them are really fun to do. I'm not sure. Do we have them all as shown?
I don't think so.
Think we do.
I don't think we have all of them. We do have the woven one because that was in silk ribbon. Mm-hmm. So we have that one. I don't think we have
this one, but we don't have the rib.
I don't think we've got the ribbed.
But we'll find one.
That's right.
And we'll put it up next time so you can see the difference between the 3 roses.
Yes.
We'll call them the roses.
The roses. Wasn't there a movie called The Rose?
Yeah, there is, but it's totally different. The woven is the easiest since you just go over under instead of remembering one or two. You're absolutely right, Kathleen. Absolutely. But we kind of like showing you various different stitches because they're fun, actually, to learn them.
They are.
And get started in them. Yeah. And we're kind of now in a more intermediate level of different stitches that we're putting on YouTube.
Yes.
So the kinds that we're showing now can be a little daunting when you look at them in a diagram. The diagram is correct, but you also need to see someone do them.
Yes.
And that's why we're putting them very short little things on YouTube.
Yes, they're not detailed videos.
Not at all, no.
But if you want detailed videos, take a course through the Academy because then you get the full detailed video on how to do the stitch.
The full meal deal.
Yeah.
You get the entire course. Actually, we've got the 3 new courses. As most of you know from last week, I was announcing it proudly.
But you finished them finally.
Yes. And so we've got Beyond Cross Stitch levels 4, 5, and 6. And they're the more advanced levels of stitching, cut work, weaving, lace making, that end of needlework stitches. And of course, those took a little bit longer, but they are packed full of information and lots of show and tell, not just show.
Yeah.
Whereas the YouTube ones are very short, no telling.
Yeah.
You just listen to some calming music that calms your nerves.
Yeah, yes. While you're stitching it. Wait until I get to the cutting part. They're going to be real short.
I think that for the cutting parts, we have to go da-da-da-da.
Well, that's true. Yes. Yes. Yeah, we'll have to find some really dramatic music for it. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I thought too, Jennifer.
Jennifer, you're right. That's what Lisa said too. I'm like Cindy Lou.
I had ears on, but they fell off. So,
well,
there, because either my ears are too big, like my real ears, and the head it doesn't sit properly. So, anyways.
Well, what we're doing this for today, I don't know if latecomers understand that this is after St. Patrick's Day and prior to Easter. So we're kind of doing a little in between.
In between.
We had some green frogs that kept slipping off our shoulders, but basically we're really attempting to, and very slow.
Yes.
Not exactly on time or anything.
We should have done St. Patrick's Day last Friday, but oh well.
We might not remember Easter.
Better late than, well, that's true. We might not.
Okay. Becky Klaga says, what stitch makes a nice looking snowflake? It makes such a difference how big a snowflake you want to make. Because if it's going to be a snowflake that's just like as small as a cross stitch, use a cross stitch or an upright stitch.
Yeah.
And then you intersperse them amongst whatever, because I've done a lot of that, just cross stitch.
Yeah.
But there's other nice looking snowflakes that are bigger.
Yeah, like Christmas Village has some eyelet snowflakes on it that are quite large, but they're stunning.
And so it depends on how big the snowflake needs to be. I'm sorry, but I can't help you with which stitch makes the best one. I think if you look at Christmas Village up close, you can do that on our website.
Absolutely.
You just go to Christmas Village, and then, when you hover over it on a PC or on a large, like a desktop computer, you hover over it and you will get a magnified look at our designs. And you'll see in the background of the verse, there's all different stitches that basically make up all variety of snowflakes. So I can't tell you which one.
Yeah.
Cross stitch makes a good one for tiny stitches. Patty says, hi, you made it. I watched last week's before I realized it. Oh, was it fun?
Actually, I've done that too when I'm at home and I didn't join the Stitch Along Friday. I've started a week before going, nope, this isn't right.
No, that's right. They're not saying hello to us. So, Marcy Schmidt says, aren't you too cute today?
Thank you.
We try. We're very cute today. Apparently, we're like Cindy Lou and the bunny, the Easter bunny.
Yes, a green bunny.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we have talked about the Stitch of the Week, which is amazing. And in another 2 minutes, our Stitch of the Week will be on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Those of you who have multiple ways of looking at things, you can go and check and see if it bounces out and shows up in the right time. We hope so. I did want to mention something else because we have these ballpoint needles. And I'm going to tell you this because I had a look at our stock and we're completely out of the ballpoint needles 26s.
Yes.
Right? That's
yes.
right?
But we will be getting more, just not sure when.
Exactly. So these 24s are still in. Those of you who are missing out on having ballpoint needles, poor you. Because seriously, I thought they were, okay, another needle, another
Thea
needle.
didn't believe me.
I didn't.
She didn't believe me when I said, you have to try these needles.
So I put it in my needle thing and I went, yeah, whatever. I've tried needles. No,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
whatever. Gold doesn't matter. Okay. So I then by mistake took one of these. I had it in my pin keep and I started stitching it. I thought, what's going on? This is so
Why
nice.
is it gliding?
It glides. Nothing gets stuck on it. I can't even tell you the description of what I felt, but it was just like I discovered stitching again.
Absolutely.
It felt like I was in heaven with my needle.
Yeah.
And don't forget, it also doesn't have a really pointy end.
No.
On the tapestry eye end, most needles have a slightly sharp point there.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, but this doesn't. It saves your fingers.
Yes, so I usually push my needle through, and it's just by habit, push it through with the pad of my third finger. Well, if I hadn't stitched for a while, I would get a sore there unless I put some moleskin
absolutely.
on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one, you don't feel a thing.
Yeah, it glides through, and actually, since I'm stitching something else and I didn't have a ball tip needle handy, so I grabbed just a regular. It's like, what is this?
Yes. So we're really excited about these.
Yes.
I know they've been around for a while, but we never tried them until
we never
this
tried
recently.
them. And,
So we got some in. So we do have the 24s, thank goodness.
Yes.
And Pat Henke says she forgot to wear green yesterday.
Oh,
No, it was the day before yesterday. So it's a good thing you didn't wear them yesterday. Oh, that's really funny, Pat. Tanya Kelly says, too cute. Thank you. Ann Seeley from Utah's mountains. And Loretta also loves those needles.
Yes.
So I'm really not trying to do anything except if you don't have them, get some.
Give them a try. They're worth every penny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every penny.
They're not inexpensive. But
no, they're not like whatever,
No.
50-cent needles.
Yeah.
Definitely not. They are, I don't know what they are. Something like $5 for a package?
No. I think there's $7.99, $8 for a package of 2 needles.
Okay.
So
boy, are they worth it.
They're worth it.
And you have to put them back in the little package, and that way you won't lose them.
Absolutely.
Which is actually something I should be thinking about.
Elaine said to me she lost one. I said, well, get down on your hands and knees and start feeling for it.
Yes, get your little magnet
that's
thing.
right. It's shame to lose one of those.
Exactly. Oh, and we have a whole bunch of our scissors back in. I told you last week, but some of you may not have realized. I've just pulled out one. Yeah. This is the large handled pair of scissors, which I love because my little fat fingers can get in there no problem.
No problem. Absolutely.
And they're all sharp as anything. We've got the aquatique and the red and the arabesque,
which is the nice fancy gold ones.
All sorts of scissors. Really nice to see that they just went off the shelf last week. There were so many of them that were sold last week, which is because people were dying to get a good pair of scissors for heart hanger. And they're also really pretty, but they're sharp, which is exactly what you need for cut work.
Exactly. And for the price for the scissors, they're a good quality heart hanger scissor.
Absolutely.
For relatively inexpensive.
Yes. Not like the needles. The needles are expensive, but really good. And the scissors are really good and not so expensive.
And not so expensive. Comparing them to like a Ginger or a Solingen or something like that.
Yeah, they're Davos, right? Davos manufacturer.
Yes.
Tanya says, I paid more than that in the U.S. for those needles. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe we should raise our prices.
Maybe I'll look at that. Thank you. I'll have a look at that.
Tanya, thank you. Oh, dear, that's so cute. Beverly Fleming says hi. She's here. Marcy Schmidt says, I use one of those ballpoint needles in a project, and not that it's done. I have no idea where I put it. Oh, now that it's done. Oh, that's too bad. You have to get your magnet and just go and look for it.
And go look for it. You probably put it in a safe place.
Yeah, I tend to do that too. But this is actually a pretty good little container for them.
Absolutely.
Or you could stitch something like this needle case. Like this one,
and put it in there,
and those and that particular needle case only carries your ballpoint needles in its little wool felt. I don't know if I can just open it up.
Yeah. There's a needle joining.
Got stuck there, and put them in like that. These are not ballpoint needles.
No.
But these are actually. This is something that I think I used for quite a while. So obviously works. But choose one of your little needle books to keep your ballpoint needles in, because they're so easy to lose. Just like, you know those little mini thumb drives that I got some of? They were really good. They had carried so much data.
Yeah.
But they're tiny, you know, that you can lose them so easily. So you got to get a container. And we don't mind containers.
No.
We love containers.
And Anne, no, 100 pairs of scissors is not too many.
What kind of question is that? And that's funny. No, never too many.
Nope.
We have decided that they are like jewelry for your hands.
Yeah, and as my husband says, don't you have enough scissors? And I said, there's never enough scissors.
No, I'm afraid not. Sorry.
Yeah.
We don't go for that around here.
Do you need those? What does need have anything to do with it?
I want them. Anyway, so then I had this idea about asking questions or giving hints. Oh, good to find when I drop one. Donna, that's a great idea. Keeping some floss on your needles. Excellent idea.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes, and then you have to tie it on because otherwise it comes undone. Yes. I did want to mention something about our practice of getting our linen ready for stitching.
Yes.
And one of the things that we absolutely live by, both Lisa and I, in a different way. Is basting. So there's basting and gridding.
Yes.
And there are two different ways of preparing your linen for stitching. Many of you are really familiar with this, but I think that it just goes to show how differently we would do things if Lisa shows her current project, because she's doing, which one is that?
What the heck is it called?
Is it Stay Home and Stitch?
Yeah.
Or
No, it's the other one.
It's
Home is where the heart is?
No.
Home.
No. Stay Home Alone and Stitch. No.
Yeah. It's not the Stay Home and Stitch one, though. It's the, I can't remember what it's called now.
I'll think of it. But what I would like to show you, or what Lisa would like to show you, is her basting.
Absolutely.
So one of the things you can do is, of course, you can baste around the outside of the exact dimensions of the piece, or you can do the middle and the horizontal middle and the vertical middle.
Which I do both.
So let's see. What do you do?
Okay. So here it is. And you can see my basting lines. There's the top.
Yeah, I'll hold it.
And then I've got the center basting line right there, horizontal and vertical. And then I do the outside. And I do this every time I start a new project.
So you baste all the way up and down, right to the end?
I do. I count.
Yes, but you're counting like up here, even though this is the top. You're also counting right up here.
I do. I put my basting lines from
top to bottom?
Edge to edge.
Of your fabric?
Yeah.
Oh, how come? I was just curious.
Just the way I do it.
Okay, so you do all this basting, but you don't stitch anywhere in here or out here.
Yes. No, I had a little bit extra fabric, so that's why there's quite a bit at the top.
Okay.
Normally there's only 3 inches.
Okay, so you do a horizontal and vertical middle.
Yeah, and I do them in different colors too.
Yes, I see that. And all the way around. What kind of thread do you use?
Just cotton sewing thread.
Okay, so you don't use floss.
No.
You use cotton sewing thread?
I've got tons of cotton sewing thread. I try to use something that's not too dark because you don't want it to leave any remnants in the fabric.
That's a really good point. And also, do you go over and under 4?
I tried, but I'm not really worried about the over and under 4.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it's approximately.
I don't use it as a counting tool
Mm-hmm.
because I have my outside margins
Thank you.
Counted. So my is like, am I centered? Am I stitching it within my boundaries?
Right. So that's a great way of doing it. And as you can imagine, I'm sitting here going, okay, but that's not how I do it.
No, that is certainly not how you do it.
So it's not that quite the same. What I do is I do go all the way around the outside of my proposed piece, but I often leave the bottom open because I don't know
True.
how long mine is going to end up being because I'm designing. So there's a slight difference there. But I do like to have the top, or make sure that it has its top basted and all the sides basted. But I don't do the middles at all.
No.
But what I do is along the sides, and I usually start at the top, along the sides, I will go over and under 4, 4, 4, 4 until I reach the 20 threads.
Yeah.
And then I make a little side stitch.
Yeah.
And then I go over 4, 4, 4, 4, and I make another little side stitch, and then 4, 4, 4, 4. So all along the edges, I know where I am at all times.
Exactly. And you're basically marking it according to the dark lines on the chart.
No.
No?
No. I'm never marking it according to the dark lines because I don't see any dark lines.
Well, no, that's true because you're designing, but it is marking 20 fabric threads.
You could.
Yeah.
And every 20 fabric threads is 10 cross stitches.
True.
And so it could end up, but I never think of the dark threads. No, sorry, the dark lines.
Dark line.
But at the top, I like to also know where the middle is there. And so that middle is important to me. So what I do there is I start in the middle and then I go from that out and 4, 4, 4. And I have a little stitch at the top that lets me orient myself. Because sometimes when I put the bands in, when I design a band, it's in my head and I've got it, pretty much worked out. I still don't start at the end. I start in the middle of the band. Because I know exactly where I want to start to have that middle, to make that middle look good. And then I work outwards. Because that way, no matter what, I end up the same on either side.
Yeah.
Even if either side doesn't quite work out, I know exactly where I have to stop.
Yeah.
So that's my way, and that has something to do with designing, obviously, but could also work for just stitching.
Yes.
And then there is the gridding way.
Yes. Where you grid, you get your chart and you grid according to the dark lines on the chart.
Yeah, essentially, you've got yourself gridded every 20 threads, if it's on linen, or every 14 squares on Ada, which we don't use, but every 20 threads, and then make sure that you that you actually stitch according to the chart.
Yes.
Because the chart has dark grid lines every 10 squares. So make sure that you follow that, and then you can stitch according to your chart, which is really cool because you can kind of block out a square of your chart that way and make sure that you've got all those stitches done in there before you move on. There, we've given 3 different ways. And Kathleen puts a pair of scissors in each project bag.
Oh,
which is a great way of using your scissors.
Yeah.
I love different kinds of scissors.
Me too.
I keep threads on my beading needles. Me too, by the way. I do the same thing. Easier to find them. Brenda says,
I do too. And not only that, you never use up the whole length of thread. And who wants to take the thread out of the beading needle and thread it again?
Exactly, because that's hard enough as it is. And Sylvie says she usually does the middle grid. In other words, you do the middle and the middle, right? The vertical and the horizontal. I hope that's what you mean, Sylvie. How do you tack your linen onto your scroll bars? Well, we'll answer that in 1 second. I want to make sure that I don't... Oh, no, we might as well do that now, and then we'll see. How do you do it?
I use my sewing machine.
Me too.
Yeah.
I take the material and my roller bar. I make sure that the roller bar is lying with its material down.
Absolutely.
The roller bar is on top, and the material, the canvas or whatever that material is lying like this. I put my fabric on top of that. I put 3 pins through it. Usually that's all you need. And then put it under the foot of your sewing machine and zigzag. Very big zigzags is what I use.
I use a large basting line.
Okay, so that's all we do.
Yeah.
And you can do it by hand too. It really makes no difference how you tack it. But I certainly wouldn't leave pins in
No.
They'll bend.
Pull the pins out as you're sewing.
Val says, I gridded silk wisteria. It really helped.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
And probably with the heirloom Christmas sampler too, to grid, especially for the top part of the tree, would be really helpful.
Yes. I've seen some people who have actually shown their gridding on the Christmas tree and they're going, it's nothing.
Yeah.
You just do every single square. It makes it so much easier. And Sylvie says she likes that idea too. Excellent. Sheila says, I love the needle case. Oh, that's the little one of the...
For where stitchers gather?
Yeah, it's very cute, isn't it? It's got a little stitcher on there. Thank you.
I love the colors of that.
Me too. Very soft. Thank you very much. Tammy says, I usually do 4 over and 4 under. Me too.
Yeah.
Usually do the vertical center and side. Sometimes the top when it's a sampler. Yeah, exactly. This is really interesting what people are going to be doing because you're sharing what you're doing. And I'd invite you to share how you get your fabric ready. Yeah. Dory Davis says, I usually grid when I have a bigger project, especially a big sampler. Yes. Makes total sense. The bigger it is, the more you have to keep orienting yourself as to where you are. So good idea. Carol says she serges. Oh, you serged it onto your roller bars. So my question is, how do you get off all that serging stitching? Because I put very little stitching on, so I can take it out of my canvas on my roller bar. I wouldn't serge the fabric onto my roller bar. So my question is, how do you get rid of all of that serging thread, Carol? Vivienne says, we look wonderful. Yes, we are. We're having St. Patrick's Day. Late. 3 days late. Jennifer says, I never have gridded. I started my project in the middle. I do keep track of the number of stitches I do, though. So if I had to do 20 stitches, I do... Oh, so you do some X's, and then the rest of the stitches are basically done over 2, and then you don't cross them until you come back. That makes sense. So you know where you are that way. Hi, Vivienne Porta. And serge the edges only. I think when you're talking about serging, you're talking about serging the edges.
The raw edges. I zigzag my raw edges.
Which makes sense. And I have gotten really lazy. I used to zigzag mine. I got really lazy. I stopped serging. I never did serge, but...
Zigzagging.
Anything to the ends. I start in the middle too. What is serving? Val?
Serging.
Serging. Yeah. Serging. I think you need an actual machine to do serging.
There's sewing machines are called serger sewing machine. And basically it's used, I don't have one myself, but I think it's for people who like to do knit with or sew t-shirts.
With knit fabric.
With knit fabric.
And then the knit fabric is kind of elastic like this. And so inside you'll see, I don't know if you can see this or not, you'll see this kind of serging. And it kind of keeps your edge from kind of going like this when you're stitching it, keeps it all together and makes it stiff.
That's right.
And edged.
Yes.
But it's a special kind of machine, so I don't have one of those, so... Donna Granger says she doesn't grid, or you don't do any basting either, it sounds like. Carol says serging the edges only. I apologize. I thought you meant the
attaching.
Sorry.
The attaching of the fabric on the roller bars.
But the edges and the top and the bottom, that's a really good point, because you are very good at doing all of that zigzagging on the edges.
I zigzag my edges, I baste. That's just, now it's normal for me to do.
It's something that you wouldn't think not to.
I wouldn't think not. I wouldn't be able to start a project without doing that first.
Yeah, it becomes a kind of a thing that you're so used to. And I got really used to not, because it just felt to me like
a time waster.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like to get at it.
Yeah.
And I think also I'm not as good at preparing or being as accurate. I've learned over the years that I'm fairly accurate, fairly good preparer, but honestly, I would rather just roughshod over it. And my impatience, I think, gets the better of me, and also wanting to see what it looks like, because I'm designing most of the time.
Absolutely.
So I'm not just stitching what other people have designed.
That's
so
right.
That's what I'm interested in, not whether the edge is fray.
Yeah. Your main concern is making sure that you're stitching and still have 3 inches of fabric around the outside.
And I usually start with something a little bigger to give myself room.
Yes.
So maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can see that. Very rarely do any of those threads ever come out either. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That's really true. I mean, even when it's sitting on the roller frame, nothing comes loose.
No, because you're not really handling it with your hands.
No.
So,
anyway, that's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. Hello, Dorothy Wendell.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. I do what Lisa does.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. See, because Lisa knows what she's doing. That's why. I usually sew by machine, says Tammy. Cotton fabric strips to the linen. Oh, okay, good. Then I use first aid tape to tape the added fabric strip to the top dowel rod. My goodness, that is interesting. My scroll frames are the cheaper box store ones with separate dowel rods. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that comes with them. Well, that's really interesting because I've never thought of using first aid tape. Have you?
No.
I just use the linen the way it is, and if you edge it, then it's strong enough to hold. But honestly, Tammy, that's really interesting. Kathleen says, I don't grid. I like to start in the upper left, so I just measure down 3 inches.
Absolutely.
And over 3 and count off from there.
Yeah.
If the design doesn't start at the corner. Yeah, well, it's a way, right? So then you don't do any basting, no gridding, no horizontal, vertical, nothing. You just start 3 inches because you trust that you have enough linen to do that with, which is an important part of that method.
Absolutely.
You have to be really careful you have enough.
That you don't run short at the bottom.
Exactly. That really. Pat Hankey says, I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh.
Isn't that the truth? We all are. Yes, serging also prevents your fabric from fraying. Good point. And it cuts and seams at the same time. Thank you. That was the part I missed.
Yeah.
Very good, Carol. Excellent. It's nice that you have a serger. Maybe when we're doing some serging kind of things, we can send it to you and you could do all our serging for us. Yeah? Mm-hmm. No. I don't think she's going to want to do that, Carol.
Oh, we're slightly out of focus. Sorry.
Well, I know that I want to tell you that we actually are slightly out of focus. Like we look at each other here and we are also out of focus.
Yeah. Just my eyes.
I'm going to try this and see if when I bring it back slowly that we end up in focus.
It kind of altered there a little bit.
I hope that helped. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to teach it.
Yeah. Could have been focusing on something we held up before, so...
Yeah, exactly. Tammy says she has a 4-thread serger. See, I don't even know what that means. Joy and who else? Sylvie, are we out of focus now? Let us know, because we can't tell. When I look over there, I look like we're in focus.
Yeah, it looks, good.
Jennifer Chung says, I love gridding because it reduces the amount of frogging.
Yeah.
And that's true.
I agree.
That is so true. No gridding from Donna. I like to start in the middle. I use a tooth chisel. It's okay. There you go. I always start at the left top, says Viviane Porta. That's important. Jennifer says, I start at the upper left too. Never tried gridding. Gridding takes a long time. And really, the people that I've heard do anything about gridding, they don't do their entire sampler maybe because it can get in the way.
Absolutely. You just want to do dense sections.
Yes, sections like the Christmas tree at the top of our heirloom Christmas sampler is tough to follow. And it doesn't matter what your theory is, you still get lost easily because it's not crosses, it's backstitching, and it's a little random. So that's a good one to just do the top. You don't have to grid everywhere. Just, start with the tree and just do the top.
Yeah.
There was something else that I was thinking of. Joy says, oh, great. That is much better.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Better. Everybody says better. Good. Clear as day. That worked. Tell us next time. If you find us out of focus like that, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Because we try to be in focus at all times.
We do. We try to be focused.
Thank you. Exactly. So anyway, that's exactly what we wanted to talk about was getting started, because sometimes people have various different ways that they get started, and somebody here anyway learned something during this whole conversation, we hope.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the other good things for me to see is that we are all different in how we approach our stitching.
Definitely.
We sometimes hold it in hand. Everything goes. You're
Yeah.
the ones.
There's no wrong way.
No.
It's what works best for you.
Because if you want to hold in hand and
Yeah.
you think that that's what I'd like to do, then do it.
Yeah.
Because it's your stitching, not anybody else's. There's no police. There's no right or wrong. It's
Absolutely.
a very good way to say it, Lisa, because sometimes we get caught up.
Stitching should be relaxing, and it shouldn't be, oh, I'm doing this wrong. There's no wrong. It's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm. So whatever it is that you learn here and you think to yourself, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Give it some time before you decide, no, that's not for me.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we're just so stuck in the ways we do things that it could actually end up being easier.
Yes.
If we try the new way.
Well, I did think about not zigzagging the edges on this.
Yeah.
But I couldn't just leave it. So.
Okay. I think that's obsessive compulsive. That's got nothing to do with thinking about it. And Lorraine likes her vertical and horizontal, and that's enough. And I think that's usually enough for most people. Judy does all sorts of things. She uses counting pins too, which I think is a brilliant idea. Counting pins are a set usually of 2 pins. I'm not sure if they're always together, but and that you can take one, put it somewhere, and then take the other one when you get there and put it there. And also people use color on their patterns.
Yeah. Yeah.
That part I've never quite gotten into because I think that you require a lot of cross stitching to need to do that. Where are you in your pattern?
Yeah.
But it is effective for some people. And that is if you, for instance, know that you've done a certain section, you can photocopy your pattern just once for that purpose only.
Yeah.
And it looks like our live video went off for a minute.
It did.
Yeah. So if they can't hear that, that's the way it goes. It looks like we're losing our stream metric.
Yeah, we could be.
But I did say something about make sure that it comes back.
Yeah.
So it did come back, hopefully. You guys are not lost.
Yeah. We're still here.
We're still here. So using a copy of the pattern, and then you can color in the sections that you have, where you have been as you stitch. That's another way to keep track.
I use Post-it notes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, put a Post-it note so you can follow along where you are, and then block that area off with a Post-it note. And
so many different ways.
there are. Yeah.
Tanya says one of her local shops does serge lid and edges. Okay, thank you, Tanya. I think there are some that do that. I think you're right. This is my first talk. I've learned a lot. Thank you. Thank you,
welcome,
Val. I'm glad you came by. Gotta go. Bye, Elizabeth. Good to see you. And sorry there was a hiccup in the middle of our stream there, but I had set it so that it wouldn't stop if we lost the connection, which we seem to have done. And that was on our side. So if we lose the connection sometime, it'll just keep going, but you will find us frozen maybe.
Yeah.
And if that happens, just hang in there with us because we're still here.
Yes.
And it is set to come back. See, look, there's our frozen section right there on our stream metrics. Anyway, this is the end of our little chit chat.
Yes.
We have to go back to work.
Yes,
Darn
we
it
do.
all.
We do have to go back to work.
But I have the last part of March.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The stitch along. What was that again? Anyway. So I have the last part of March. And now some of you have already finished March because I know I said 3 parts to every month. Well, I know I said that, but then
it's not true.
It's not true. It's a lie. This actually has 4 parts. And I did put that on there. 3 of 4 parts.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is on the
pattern.
patterns. Do have a look to see how many parts there are going to be in every one because I can't keep it down to 3 every time. It also depends on how long the month is.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And then you need to have some things to keep us going. Exactly. So because it was St. Patrick's Day, I did put some green shamrocks in the top. And I did them with satin stitches. So you can either make them green, like this, or you can make them with white, would be really interesting, white floss, and it will look more cloud-like. So that whole top could be white. And then there's a herringbone stitch as well as a ray stitch at the bottom. Someone else I just saw today did some little tulips at the bottom, which also looked really cute. And then she did them with lazy daisies and queen stitches.
Oh, very
really
nice.
Adorable.
Yeah.
And there are some nice diagrams at the bottom, as you can tell, they're not Lisa's.
Yeah.
These are not so good.
They are nice though.
They're just silly, but they will help you.
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to be the end of March, and as soon as you finished March, I think we're not going to start April until the following week.
Exactly, until Good Friday.
I believe that will be Good Friday.
It will be
won't
Good
it?
Friday.
Okay, so we'll start
Yep.
April then.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. I can't think of anything else that we're missing. You?
No, I think we covered a lot of stuff
Okay,
today.
well, happy St. Patrick's Day, belated.
Yep.
And
Exactly. I'm bowing my ears to you.
Exactly. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend.
Exactly. Until next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.